Hello everybody and welcome to a new episode of our program Languages of the World. Here we are once again for another episode of English, and as usual we've got lots and lots to talk about, but let me first welcome my guest, Ms. Hiba Hani. Hello Ms. Hiba and welcome to the program.
Hi, yes, how are you?
How's everything?
Great.
You should be welcoming me now. It's
Yeah,
been a long time
welcome,
since
yes,
I last participated in a program. Yeah.
Okay, how are
All
you?
right, how's everything?
Great, how are you?
I hope you've been doing well.
Yes, and yes, we are doing well.
You're going to talk about a topic that actually does not interest me much because you're going to talk about food, right?
Well, I think all of the people are interested.
I'm
but
not.
You are not, but I think after this episode you will be interested because what I have here are
I don't want to get fat.
No, this food will not get you fat if you eat little bit of them, but they are so delicious, believe me.
All right, so we're going to talk about ethnic foods.
Yes, and
right?
the international cuisines around the world.
So each country is distinguished by some special dishes.
Well, some countries are very distinguished, the others are not, but the most distinguished countries, as we know, the Italian, the French, the Turkish, of course the Egyptian. So there are some countries that are so distinguished by their food and ethnic ones.
Yeah, it's part of every culture. You know?
Yes, of course, food is part of culture, and I think
and it's actually you've been abroad before. I guess you've seen some Egyptian restaurants.
Actually, no, I haven't seen Egyptian restaurants. I have seen Turkish restaurants, yes, Italian.
But there are Egyptian restaurants everywhere.
There are, especially in America. You will find a lot of Egyptian restaurants in America, especially.
Yeah.
But not in Europe, maybe in Europe, but not that popular.
Okay. What about the foods we're gonna talk about?
Okay, let us go through them and find them one by one, and I'm sure you will find them delicious. For example, don't you like Chinese food?
Well, I've never tried Chinese food as far as I remember.
If you try the Chinese food, I think you will like it because it's kind of sour, spicy, sweet. All of this is in one meal. You can find it in only one meal.
Yeah.
Well, just Chinese food is well known around the world for its unique and appealing flavor, along with its attractiveness to the eye. لا نهتم قوي بالنقطة دي because the Chinese people like to make their food both attractive to the taste and attractive also to the eye. So they have these two goals while cooking their food.
So when you see it, you feel like eating.
Yes. As quoted by someone, Chinese not only enjoy eating, but they believe eating good food can bring harmony and closeness to the family and relationships. So food for them is not only because you are hungry. No, it gets you closer to your friends and your family.
So what's it like, the Chinese food?
As I told you, sweet and sour, chicken, beef.
What distinguishes it from other foods?
They use some spices and some, they use a lot of vegetables, noodles, and
I guess
stuff
you must
like
have
this.
some special dishes, right?
They have, I think, the spring rolls, the sweet and sour chicken. They have.
Have you ever tried it?
Yes, I
Chinese
try
food?
it all the time.
Yeah.
I like it. I try it all the time.
You go to Chinese restaurants here?
Yeah, sometimes, yes. They are lovely. So, here the Chinese food is a very unique and tasty cuisine that has grown in popularity and also found its modifications along the way. You can find Chinese food everywhere. And by the way, the sushi is not Chinese.
It's Japanese.
It's Japanese. Okay. Then, here we have two pictures about jai. It's one of the dishes. And also we have the Chinese fried meatballs. So look how much is it lovely and tasty.
I didn't try it. It looks
tasty.
Nice, yeah.
It looks tasty. Then we have the second tasty food, which is the Indian. Have you tried the Indian? You have to.
Well, I haven't, but I know it's spicy.
It's
they love
spicy. Yes,
food.
very spicy. And they put even spices in sweets. So it's very spicy. Actually, the Indian cuisine is as diverse as its people and geography. Of course, a lot of the people in India and the geography of India are so diverse and different, so the Indian cuisine is the same. It's so diverse. Most Indian cuisines are related by similar usages of spices. So the spices are the most important feature in the Indian food. Indian cooking is distinguished by the use of a larger variety of vegetables than many other well-known cuisines. So the Indians use a lot of vegetables.
I guess I would love it because I like spicy food.
Good, you will love it. There's an enormous variety of local styles. Okay, so here we have the Punjabi. The classic favorites in Punjabi food. Punjabi is an area, so they have their certain food. They use butter chicken, naan, paratha. These are names of food in India. Usually they have a lot of onion, tomatoes, cumin, mustard, garlic, and ginger. So all of these they use in their food. Milk is a very important part of Punjabi food also. And its many forms such as yogurt, they use yogurt, and they use white butter also, and butter. So it's kind of delicious food. These are some of pictures about their food. You can find the butter chicken here. Kashmiri is another place. It's the wazwan, the delectable aromatic banquet of Kashmir. It's kind of spices. Okay.
So you're talking about Kashmiri?
Yeah.
Here's the place. I thought it's a kind of food. Like we have kushari here. They're Kashmiri.
No, it's kind of spices and the place, and the same is used for the spices also. The spices of Kashmiri. The staple diet of every Kashmiri is rice. So they use the rice a lot. Pure vegetarian dishes. For if you are a vegetarian, you will love to eat there. Also, we have here some of the dishes. Then we have the Gujarati. Is usually served along with sweets.
I hope we're pronouncing these names correctly.
I hope I'm pronouncing. Maybe not, because I'm not Indian so far. Here are some of the foods there. And then from India, from the east to the west, and for French.
Yeah.
You like French food?
To Europe?
Yeah.
Well, what distinguishes French food?
What do you think is French?
I know they eat frogs.
By the way, it's a delicate food.
Yeah.
Delicate means very expensive and rare. A delicacy as something so rare. So they eat frogs, but big frogs.
Yeah.
Usually the drumsticks, not all of the frogs. Yeah, yucky. No, the French food I'm serving here now is the crab. You know the crab?
Yeah.
We all know the crab.
Yeah.
So it is actually a French food. So the crabs, the word like the pancake itself is of French origin, deriving from the Latin crispa, meaning curd. Something curd. You know that the crab is usually curd. It's a national dish in France. It came from Brittany. So the crab is a French dish, and we eat it.
Actually, if you go to any restaurant, the menu is usually, the list of the foods is usually French.
Which
the names of of the different foods.
Yes, we are so much affected by the French culture, French food. Also, we love to serve. The Indian and Chinese have their own places, but in any restaurant you will find them between French and Italian food, mostly between French and Italian. Also, have you seen this picture before? What do you think it is? Creme. We call it here in Egypt creme caramel.
Yeah.
But actually it's creme brulee. Creme brulee or brulee is French for burnt cream.
Yeah,
burnt
the word
cream.
brulee
Yes,
in French
burnt.
means
burnt, yes.
burnt.
So the burnt cream or the creme caramel as we use it in Egypt, it's the earliest known reference was France, was first made in France. The recipe is more popular in France than anywhere else. So if you want to eat it, you will eat it the best in France. Being standard dessert offering in many French restaurants. Okay? So here we have in Egypt some of the
actually
French
we eat
things.
a lot of French foods
Yeah.
here.
The croissant, for example.
Yeah.
Who doesn't eat it for breakfast? It's well known as staple of French cuisine. There are several stories about how it was or how it came to be. So of course the croissant also is French. Then we come to the most delicious ethnic food ever, and the Turkish food.
Yeah.
A lot of the kinds of food we eat are Turkish, but let us have a look about. Taken as a whole, Turkish cuisine is not homogeneous. And by the way, homogeneous means the same. No, it is so diverse. Aside from common Turkish specialities, which can be found throughout the country, there are also region-specific specialities. So, in Turkey, there is a kind of food for every region there.
Yeah.
For example, the Black Sea region's cuisine is based on corn and anchovies, or الأنشوجة زي ما بنقولها بالعربي. So, in the Black Sea area, it's based on corn and anchovies. The cuisines of the Aegean, Marmara, and Mediterranean regions display basic characteristics of Mediterranean cuisine, as they are rich in vegetables, herbs, and fish. These areas of the Mediterranean are based in vegetables, herbs, and fish. Herbs, الأعشاب, fish, and vegetables. Central Anatolia is famous for its pastry specialities, such as, I can say kashkak or keshk, I don't know what is it, and manti, especially of Kayseri and Guzlema. Something, you know, like you can see it is like bechamel or something, goulash or something like this. So this area of Anatolia is specified in pastry, اللي هي زي الحلويات يعني. The southeast cuisine, Urfa and Adana, is famous for its kebab. Of course, you know shish kebab, you'll find kebab a lot in Turkey. Starters and dough-based desserts. Dough is عجينة. Dough-based desserts اللي هي الحلويات المبنية على العجينة. Such as baklava, qataif, and kunafa. So all of these are actually Turkish.
The Turkish language includes a lot of words we use.
Of course, because you know of the colonization of the Osmanian.
Yeah.
So this is the idea. Although fast food is gaining popularity and many major fast food chains have opened all over Turkey, so in Turkey also they have the fast food. At home, households still rely primarily on the rich and extensive dishes of the Turkish cuisine. At homes, they are like us. We depend on our main dishes. Some traditional Turkish food, especially kofta, döner, and gozlami, are often served fast food style. For example, shawarma. It's called döner in Turkey. مش شاورما يعني بيقولوا عليها دونر ودي موجودة كفاست فود chains all over Europe, by the way, as I told you.
Yeah.
Eating out has always been common in large commercial cities.
All right, let's take a break.
Yes.
All right, while you prepare some more food.
Uh-huh.
All right, so we'll be back after the break. So we're back, and as you've just seen, these were some different kinds of foods prepared in different parts of the world, in Mexico, in Greece, and in France and in Turkey. So I guess, you know, you must have some favorite ethnic food.
Yes, of course. I love the Italian food. It's my favorite, the Italian food. The Turkish is nice also, the Chinese, and of course the Egyptian.
Have you ever tried to cook these ethnic foods yourself?
Yeah, actually, yes. I cook Italian food all the time. And also I cook Chinese.
How do you get the recipes?
From the YouTube. Actually, whenever I want a recipe that I like at a restaurant, I go back to the YouTube and I try to find it.
Yeah.
And try it once. Of course, maybe it will be a success or
and
not.
Does it taste nice?
Actually, yes. After a lot of trials, yes, it comes out to taste nice.
But you never know if it's the real thing or not.
No, but as long as I like it and it tastes good for me, I keep eating it.
Yeah.
And of course, a lot of things fail, of course.
Yeah, fail.
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah. But you don't try to like add some different kinds of ingredients.
When I try this, actually, I kind of destroy the dish.
Yeah.
So I prefer, especially with the Chinese, because the Chinese have special ingredients. So you have to follow to the book. Follow every step to the book.
Tell me something about it, because I never tried that. I mean, is it easy for any person to get the recipe of any kind of food and follow it to the letter?
Sometimes if the ingredients are available and they are not so complicated, yes, if you follow it, so you can do it well. Because, for example,
because I see in even in our TV we see lots of you know
food channels.
Yeah, food programs.
Yeah.
You know, cooking
Lovely.
programs.
Yes.
And but I don't know if it's really useful if people can actually follow doing the same thing, and I don't know.
Sometimes the same dish has a lot of recipes. For example, some people add things, others delete things. It's according to your preference. For example, the one dish has a lot of recipes according to
I guess it also depends on the kind of ingredients available at your home.
At my home or at my budget, for example, there are some ingredients that are very expensive, so I will not do a dish like this. But if they are available and
But some
affordable,
ingredients are not available, right?
yeah, sometimes if you are watching a European channel or something that's not Egyptian, sometimes some ingredients are not available in Egypt.
Although nowadays, you know, the world has become a small village, really, and you can find everything.
You can find supermarkets, but actually they are very expensive.
Yeah.
Because they are imported, so you'll find them very expensive. So I prefer to use things that are affordable for all of us.
Yeah. Okay, so let's carry on. What
Yeah,
else
please.
are we going to talk
Okay,
about?
my favorite now.
Italian.
Italian, yes. Look at the pasta.
Well, I like Italian, the soccer team, not the food.
Okay, so we agree that we love something Italian.
Yeah.
The history of the early Italian culture or kitchen culture, cross-cultural influence came from the great kingdoms of the Etruscans, Greeks, and Saracens from the Arab Empire. So actually the Italian food has roots in the Greeks, the food of the Greeks, and of course the food of Arabs. The Greeks popularized a kind of fish chowder. Okay, the Greeks, we took of them, the Italian food took of them the fish chowder, and it's a kind of dish, a dish made of fish. Major contribution of the Etruscans to Italian cuisine was porridge. Also there is a porridge. Porridge يعني بتبقى زي شوربة تقيلة كده. And this they were affected by Etruscans. The Arabs affected the Italian, guess what? By the lasagna. The lasagna that we eat now and consider as an Italian kind of food, it was affected by the Arabs. The Arabs gave it to the Italians. We have in the area of the Mediterranean, there is a kind of Mediterranean diet. Obesity, if you know, it's very rare in Italy. Although they eat pasta, it is very rare. Yeah, it's only 8.5% compared to American obesity, because it's in America they are
Americans
it's high rate because of the junk food, of course. Studies show that Mediterranean diet has many benefits: lowered risk of heart disease and cancer, to living a longer life. So their diet makes you healthier without heart disease and cancer. Italian enjoys a diet that
they
is
love
rich.
a lot of seafood?
Seafood maybe with the pasta, but what I have here that they love fruits, vegetables, beans, poultry, and by poultry we mean chicken. Okay, olive oil, they use olive oil as we see in the picture. They use olive oil. Tomatoes, they use tomatoes also, and they use whole grains like, you know, oat and wheat, and they like dairy products اللي هي milk, yeah, milk and cheese,
products.
Red wine, النبيذ الأحمر. They cook with the red wine, by the way, and they eat very little red meat. So this is why they are not they are healthy, because they eat very little red meat. يعني اللحم الأحمر بياكلوه قليل قوي، وده طبعا السبب في إنهم محتفظين بصحتهم لأن مفيش كوليسترول.
And they care a lot about fashion, and you could, you know, discuss this on an
much
upcoming
pasta
episode.
And so little meat. Look at the dishes: fettuccine here, and lasagna. Oh my God, and shrimps and spaghetti. Well, coming to the American cuisine, which is the opposite, total opposite of the Italian. It's full of carbohydrates, full of fats. Look at this. onion rings, and look at this hot dog sandwich. It's a combination of all the traditional cuisines of immigrant inhabitants. Because of course America is kind of open to all the immigrants. It has a lot of ethnic foods like the Chinese, Japanese, Mexican, Italian, everything. So the Americans eat almost all kind of food in the world. So imagine them after eating all of this. Of course they have a high rate of obesity. Then we come to Japanese food, and we all know about Japanese food that it depends on fish and rice. Japanese diet is mostly fish and rice, as we see in the sushi. Okay, and they have emphasis on seasonality. Seasonality means you put your spices and things. The Mexican,
seasoning here.
Seasoning, you put some seasoning. The spices you add to the food. The Mexican food. Have you tried Mexican food here?
No.
I've tried it.
But I've seen a lot of programs.
I've tried it in a restaurant. I didn't like it actually because, well, I don't know, but I prefer the Italian. You know, burritos, tacos. So
I think you need to get there to to choose the kind of food you like best.
Yeah, I think because all of the Mexican restaurants here, they don't only serve Mexican. You find that they serve everything. So there is no true Mexican restaurant. So it's known for its intense and varied flavors, colorful decorations, and also variety of spices. I believe spices is the key word. I think spices is the key word.
Why you never hear anything about German food?
Oh my God, German is a blonde food, and by blonde I mean tasteless, or they lack spices. Yes, they don't use spices. So it was just what I was saying, that spices is the key word to any nice food, because the German, they don't use spices, so I don't think they have. But I think maybe in some houses they have their own dishes. I have never tried.
Well, when we think of Germany, we often, what comes to mind is the machinery and everything is
they are kind of practical people.
Yeah.
They are kind of practical people. And most of them eat other ethnic foods. As long as I know, they eat doner, they eat the Turkish food, they eat Asian food most of the times, so they don't have their German dishes.
Yeah.
And at the end, the Egyptian food.
We know that.
You know that?
Yeah.
What do you think people
I've tried it before.
You have tried Egyptian food, good. By the way, we have our popular dishes that are unpopular for people. You know, the foreigners, the popular dishes for them are not the popular for us. For example, I don't think kebab is our popular dish. For them, it is. It's kebab, as we saw in with Turkish. The baklava, I don't think it's popular for Egyptian, it's popular for Turkish. But they consider it an Egyptian popular dish also. The kosheri and baba ghanouг. And guess what? The king or the queen of dishes, macarona bechamel.
Wow.
And they write it like this, macarona bechamel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And with bechamel, we end our episode.
Delicious.
Thank you very much for this delicious episode.
Made me hungry.
All right. So we've been talking about food, and I guess this is a topic that interests a lot of people. I hope you've had an interesting episode with us. We'll be seeing you again. So until we meet you again, have a wonderful time. Bye-bye.